Shabbos Pashat Dvarim, Shabbos Tisha B'Av Nidche, that year was Nidche Tavshin. Eileh Hadevorim, we'll learn it together, friends. Moishe. So these are the words that Moishe spoke of Pirish Rashi, Lefish and Dividike Chachos, because Moishe is rebuking the Yidden. Mona can call him a Kaimis, and Moishe enumerates all of the places Shechisu Lifnei Amakim Ben that they angered God. It actually points out Ben Teufel V'Lovan. There's no such place as Teufel V'Lovan. But it's a remiss for the complaining about the Mon, etc. Therefore, since he's rebuking them, he said it in a closed way, not an explicit way. And only mentioned these places where they angered, they sinned, because of the honor of Yidden, not to spell it out outright, not to make Yidden look in an unfavorable light, badly. Pashup shot in the pasuk. Maybe that's a machzedek beratayr al sefer dvarim. Order two. So the Tzemach Tzedek brings narrative and sefer dvarim. To be pointed out, at that time then, they just published another Krach Noise beratayr al sefer dvarim of the Tzemach Tzedek on sefer dvarim. The fact that now in the 9 days they published the Tzemach Tzedek's a new volume on Sefer Dvarim, so this contributes to the promise of transforming, because a big simcha these days, into Sasam Simcha. Also Sefer Dvarim is, friends, what Sefer Dvarim? Sefer Dvarim is one long Farbrengen. Moishe Rabbeinu Farbrengs with Yidden for 37 days till the day of his passing. From Chodesh Shvat to Zayin Oder. What's the Farbrengen? There's Nigunim, the Shira, there's words of rebuke. There's Torah. Pasha, this is a Sefer Dvarim is the bridge between Teresh B'Ksav and Teresh B'Al Peh. And the one adds Moishe Rabbeinu's words. Shadiber Moishe. The same kedusha as the other three. It's a meidik thing. The same kedusha as the first four svarim. Even though it's mamish words of Moishe, he's talking. As Tosfos says, "Shrin medaberes b'tech greiner." The wonder we end up with Simchas Torah. Berems Yantif, Sefer Dvarim, Mishnah Torah. The Rambam called this book Mishnah Torah. It's all tied in. The Rambam was royally, I don't know what the Bashem Tov said, the Rachaim said, the Rambam was royal to be Mashiach and wanted to be, which is why he wrote. You're right, that's why he wrote. He wanted because he was. It wasn't a career aspiration. He wanted to bring the Gula, Pasha. And he was in every generation is someone qualified. He was the one, the Gula, and that's why he wrote Hilchas Melachim that no one else wrote. He wrote the whole Torah, including Hilchas Melachim. You know what things? I think it's Baal Shem Tov. And that was pushed off the Gula. So it's a fascinating thing. You know, the Ravid objects, and it's printed in the heart of the Rambam. Put it on the side. And he's not polite either in his objections. Such language on from Be'en Yerushalayim. It's all the Ruchnisdik, you know. You have to do it, to challenge. It's all to bring out a deeper Mashiach. At any rate, let's go for this. Anyway, so that was Rashi. Maybe the Tzemach Tzedek brings Mashiksha Meharamo. The Ramo. So the Rama asks, Lama Bacha B'Teichacha Musteres V'Yat Minena Beremes. Why does Moshe choose a hidden and hiding it he rebuked them in a hidden way and hiding it in illusions? If if the reason is because of the kavod of Yidden, ma hoyish achakach choshal kveidon. Later on, as he keeps on talking, all of a sudden he's not concerned with the glory. Ben Balem, he says to them, this is later in Parshas Ekev, describing Mamrim Beyisim, you were rebellious, Maktifim Beyisim, you caused they wished to be angry. So there it's okay, now not. That was the Shaila of the Ramah. We'll soon see what he answers. I think at the end he answers. Now the Rebbe adds. Tzaddik brings the Ramah. So now the Rebbe adds. The L'chayre Efshalem, you could say, the Kivin Shemona Kan Kol Makim Mishichis Lefnei Amakim. Here he's mentioning all the places. Everything. He couldn't say everything in one moment. Why? We see a precedent. Parshas Ba'aleischa, the parsha of Atar Reisa of Vahibin Tzoya Oron is written in the Torah with brackets, inverted nuns, to break up the narrative between one sin and the other. We have to interrupt between one story that elicits punishment to another story, not to make it look back. So we have this. But here he's going through all of them, so you can't be explicit. It's got to be beremes. This is what you could think. That's why here, since he's listing, we follow, right? He's listing all the Avedas. So we had to say them in a closed way, not explicit, and to refer to them only with allusions. So you might want to give such a teretz. The Rebbe says, no, kadai kishapir, if we medayik, ein zedayim the Parshas Ba'aleischa. It's not the same as Parshas Ba'aleischa. Sheshom meduber oidetz ksivus ha-Parshas b'Torah. There it's talking about the Torahs, telling the story in the Torah, as in real time, as it were. He's just talking about it. Moishe Rabbeinu is referring to it. There, the Torah is recording the sin. That's one thing. Here, he's just talking about it. So why are we forced? What's the reason? So what forces Moishe Rabbeinu? That's not the question. Sorry. Rewind. The Torah is describing the events. Have to break up the narrative. Here, Moishe Rabbeinu is you have to break it up. This happened. Before we tell the next story, we're going to interrupt it with Vahibin Tzoya. But here, Moishe Rabbeinu, he's reviewing it. So what's stopping him? Don't say it all at once. Don't say it in one shot. Because he's saying it in one shot, that's he's got to say beremes, spell it out and break it up. What's stopping him? That's the kasha. And furthermore, Meshach Hazman is explaining the kasha. Meshach Hazman, from this moment in Chodesh Shvat, where he started the whole thing, where he started his talk, till his talkus of the 7th of Adar, he could have addressed each one explicitly. He's got 37 days with other subject matters. He gave over many mitzvahs, more details. As we see in Sefer Dvarim, Mishnah Torah, which reviews the whole Torah. So we have to say, therefore, that was concluding in our conclusion. So what stops him from doing that? So we have to say, the reason that he did not, and he said it all in illusions, why? Because you don't have to spell it out. It's enough, just a hint. You didn't get the point. But now that makes the next him came so if we get it beremes, what's the reason? In other places, he was explicit later on. Even though it was an Oyev Yisrael. This, by the way, is a quote from the Baisusim. Baisusim would tie it that Shavuos always comes Machas HaShabbos, the day after Shabbos. Famous Gemara in Menachos. Why? Because Shavuos is only one day. Pesach and Shavuos is 7 days. So Moishe said, if he saw he wanted to give Yidden at least a 2-day Yontif, so he makes Shabbos right after Shavuos. But Chassidus brings it as Mitzvah Yisrael. But they said it's true. So we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, we'll review the whole flow and continue with the Tzemach Tzedek's answer on the Ramah. And we'll see what the Ramah answers. The Ramah is the one that asked the question, if you're concerned with the covet, how do you spell it out later, right? So we'll review the flow and we'll see.